Hey, what's up guys, it's Tbone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. It's preview day for the event, The Depths Below, and I wanted to talk about the upcoming heroes as well as some changes to the next Commander event and my thoughts about them. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone of two very important things that you should do to prepare for the event. First, there's a head start pack for free that gets you lots of catalysts and event coins and skips your boss by 50 levels. Don't forget to claim it. The second thing is, if you have a card that boosts Guild vs. Guild stats in your avatar slot, make sure that you switch it to the support card of the event when it starts. In Commander events, your friends and allies are usually looking to borrow a card that can give its deck a boost. Support cards such as the Admiral Applewood from the last event give a 300% boost to damage and health as a leader. When you bring it in as an ally, it will also give an additional 300% boost to your team, and your team will end up dealing 900% damage and have 900% additional health. However, if you use a card that boosts Guild vs. Guild, such as Bacon Baron, it will not provide any boost at all in the Commander event. So be a good ally, and don't use the event cards as your avatar during Commander events. You'll find yourself earning more honor points that way as well. So let's start by taking a look at the cards. We'll start with the support hero Milio. There are two parts to her skill. First is a basic gem creation, where she creates 6 gems, which is pretty standard now it seems for the support cards. Then she heals if she is hit after activating the skill. Since in Commander events the boss hits every turn, every time after you activate the skill and finish the gem swap, the heal will be triggered. It heals for 2500% of hero recovery, which is actually a significant amount. With a starting recovery value of 336, that's 8,400 health with 1 key and 42,000 if you're using 3 keys. So this is a very good healing card, but with a 3-turn cooldown, so you will still need to manage your health. Next is the event hero, Cambria, which also has 2 parts to his skill. The first skill creates 4 power gem once, and the second part of the skill places a debuff on a single enemy, which basically makes it take 20% more damage for 4 turns. Take note that this battle skill has only a 3-turn cooldown, which means you can cast it again while it's active to stack the damage boost of your cards. I think that this card is going to be the MVP of this deck, to be honest. Having multiple cards will mean your enemy will take on more damage, and if you boost damage of your own cards on top of that, I would expect this deck to hit very hard. The Master Collection card, Biolume, isn't what I would consider a great card by itself. It's able to create up to 6 Power Gem 4s, but that's once you reach maximum intensity of 300. It starts with 2 Power Gems, then for every 75 intensity the number increases by 1. It also has a 6-turn cooldown, which is quite long if you compare it to the rest of the deck. At this point, having gone through many events now with the new meta, a single card that generates 6 power gems isn't going to provide as much damage as some of the older cards could. So for me, it's a strong card, but it isn't a game changer. I only have 1 rune so far, so if I don't end up getting this card, I think it'll still be okay. Next is the ultra rare card, Wave Mother Milio. Now, this card is going to be pretty good. It is very similar to the Wasteland Spectre, which creates power gems for multiple turns depending on the amount of intensity that is built up. In this case, she will create 3 power gem 2s every turn, up to 4 turns, so every 100 intensity you build up will increase the number of turns it spawns power gems. Both this card and the Master Collection card will end up creating lots of power gems once you reach maximum intensity of 300, and if you have multiple copies of the Wave Mother card, you will probably be able to deal a lot more damage over a few turns, especially when paired with Cambria. This card is definitely a good card, but again, because it's an ultra rare card, you could end up going up many tiers before you get her, which could be very expensive. She isn't a deal breaker if you don't have her on your team, so keep that in mind. And next, I just want to quickly touch up on the news for the upcoming Commander, since it looks like it'll have some pretty drastic changes to how we play the event. First, overkill for skipping boss levels is back. I personally like skipping levels, so I'm happy with this change, but then there are more. So it looks like we're going to have guild trophies and solo trophies separated like Slayers now. I don't know how much I actually like this change, so I'm going to reserve my judgment until after the event is over, because I think that guild boss trophies, they have become less relevant with the solo trophies being so high recently, but I don't really know how this is going to change things and how it's going to make the guild participation better, so I'm going to wait until the event starts and see how that impacts my own guild so I can experience it. And the next big thing that I'm actually really excited about is the fact that they're introducing some new content to the maps itself. So first, they're reducing the total number of maps from 5 down to 1. Now, I think this is how Commander used to be when it first started. I remember when they actually introduced the Infernal, and I think they might have introduced Elite as a new thing as well at some point. So I'm just curious how that's going to pan out. But the thing that is cool is there's going to be challenge missions that's going to be unlocked every time you complete a regular mission. So there's going to be like a side event almost. It doesn't block your progress. It's just something that's extra for the event itself, and you can get more trophies. Now, I personally always like new content, so I'm definitely going to be covering that once the event starts, and we'll take a look and see if we can have some strategies around that. Now, before I sign off on the episode, I just wanted to remind everyone that this week's cards are Water Demigod cards, which is one of the allowed types for Spire level 1-3. I know that this level has given many people problems, but with the new cards now, these levels will become much easier because of the empowered affinity boost. So hopefully with some cards from this event, you will be able to make progress. That's all for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm looking forward to showing some content for the new updated Commander maps in the next episode, so we'll come back for that. Stay tuned. Until then, take care. See you next time.